This ain't no kind of lie. This ain't no kind. This ain't no kind. This ain't no kind. This ain't no kind.
It's time for Roundtable Rants from Fort Worth, Texas, the original Cowtown. Move over, Columbus, Ohio, with Bryan Blue and co-host Jason Engelman and Olivia Thomas. Tonight's episode, Equal Rights. What do you say, Jason?
You know, the number one force feed that I feel is like shoved down our throats, it's nonstop, always on the news, is equal rights.
Yeah.
And the problem, though, is I feel like the people that only deserve the equal rights are the minority groups, the ones that are actually standing out there preaching equal rights, but they only expect the equal right for themselves. They don't want to give equal rights to everybody else. An example is this. You know, down in San Antonio, the city council is telling businesses Christian businesses, that they are not allowed to discriminate against people that may go oppose their religion. They have to serve anybody and everybody.
If a gay couple was to come in, like say they wanted us to provide them pizzas for a wedding, we would have to say no.
Now, to me, that's not equal rights. I understand that, you know, maybe the homosexual groups want to have equal rights, or they want to be able to get married or whatnot. But the Christians should have the same equal right to decide if they want to serve or if they don't want to serve.
Yeah, no, I agree totally. I think a business owner should be able to conduct their business any way they want, as long as they're not doing something just blatantly illegal, you know?
Sure. Okay, so here are homosexual groups who are being denied cakes from bakeries. They are suing the Christian businesses and causing these Christian businesses to be fined hundreds of thousands of dollars and having to leave business just because they decided, you know what, I don't want to bake you a cake. I believe that they should have every right to say, you know what, that just goes against what I believe.
No, I agree with that.
I agree.
Sure, I agree. But however, I do agree with that. But the points the state are trying to make is they don't want businesses to get out of control and start denying business to people that, you know, have different religious beliefs or in some cases even have physical ailments. You know, some people won't make cakes for someone that's an amputee or a midget.
I've never heard of those. I've never heard of those businesses.
No,
but
here's where I think the right of free speech has gotten out of control. There's a teacher, last name Williams, in Texas, 31-year-old fellow, and he was what they call sexting a 13-year-old female, and he was talking about sexual fantasies. However, he wasn't soliciting sexual acts.
It doesn't matter. What if he was soliciting sexual acts or talking about sexual fantasies with a kid?
Yeah, I get that, but the courts disagree with you. What they said is they dropped the charges. The prosecutors dropped the charges against Mr. Williams, the teacher, because he didn't actually solicit any illegal activity. And so I don't know about you guys. I mean, I got a young daughter, and if Mr. Williams, sexted my daughter, I'd be kicking his equal rights ass. I promise you that. My point I was making is in regards to the right of free speech and the ability to kind of say what you want, do what you want, goes hand in hand with the ability to accept or deny whoever your patrons are, with business. It's all about trying to protect a minority of a group.
But now, I mean, do you believe that the government should tell a business how they should run their company?
Not how they should run it. I think that there's governance for a reason. I certainly think it's out of control. I definitely think, in your case, you're talking about the lady that actually lost their business, the husband and wife team that lost their business because they wouldn't make a wedding cake for a lesbian couple. And that was their belief. In that case, I think that
that's a little extreme.
Yeah, the government shouldn't have stepped in one bit. Yeah, that's ludicrous in my opinion.
And then the other thing, though, is this. Okay, so they told you that they're not going to bake you a cake. I mean, is that really that much emotional damage that you have to go and sue those people? How many other bakeries are in that city that you can actually go and just get a cake?
Oh, it doesn't matter. People are very sensitive today. I mean,
but that's a problem with our society. They wear their coat sleeves or their fillings on their coat sleeve.
Well, they can get by with it, and the reason they complained about it is because they knew they'd get a settlement. They got like $100,000 out of that or something. I'm gay and I'm upset. Give me $100,000.
Okay, who in here doesn't like potheads? What's going on?
But let's just dig a little bit deeper here, though. For instance, I can give you my opinions and I can give you my beliefs, and you better respect them. But if you give me your opinions and beliefs, you're out of line and it's hate speech. There's movements saying pastors should not be allowed in Texas to say anything against homosexuality, preach against that sin, or it's hate crime. You could get fined. You could get thrown in prison.
No,
we're losing our freedom of speech.
Well, now you're
because
talking about government intervening with your actual religious
With your beliefs.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think
that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a big problem, and it is silly. But you're also taking the stance as a Christian pastor.
I believe that Christians have the right to say whether or not they're going to serve, but it also goes in how they say it, how they go about saying that. Are they being hateful about it, or are they actually saying, I appreciate you guys, you have the right to get married or whatever you feel like you need to do, but I can't support it. And do it in a loving way instead of beating somebody over the head. Well, homosexual
Which
person,
is
I hate
typically
you.
what happens.
You know what, Jason? I'm going to vote for you when you run for governor of Texas one day.
Okay, I'm running right now. I'm actually making my announcement right now.
Jason
And,
Engelman, the constitutional pastor.
Yeah. there we
However,
go.
I don't
That's
like
gonna work.
homos.
I don't like homos. That's horrible.
But hey, Jesus loves homos too. I mean,
See, well then, what's the problem
What do you mean? What's the problem?
with the way that some of you guys are like executing your beliefs? Maybe that's the problem. If everybody kind of executed in a loving way like they should, then we wouldn't have this.
and
problem.
that's a point that I just made.
Oh well, yeah.
But at the same
Well, I agree
time,
with you
at
then.
the same time, there's a lot of people that believe that the homosexuals are targeting Christian businesses to get them in trouble. And there's been 7 cases just in the last 2 to 3 years across the country. So in that same sense, it's almost as if they're going after it, after Christian people, because they know that the Christians are going to stand up. And so it's almost as if they're forcing the situation.
Well, I think Christians are held to a higher standard in most people's eyes, but the reality is a lot of people that claim to be Christian and live by the Christian morals really don't understand the Bible, and I don't think they actually live by that.
Sure,
code.
so let's end it on this. Do what the Bible says. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. And if each party actually lived by that, I think we would actually have peace and a lot more would be done that would benefit everybody else.
Shit, that's about
Very
smacking it over
true.
there.
Treat me the way you want to be treated, Bryan.
Smack her face.
For more Roundtable rants and exclusive Bryan Blue, go to bryanblue.com. Until next time, get your dose of common sense. Good night, Fort Worth.